Hello and welcome. I'm Peasant, and today I'm going to be taking on Prussia 4 with Vengeance the Burning Plague. So thanks so much, Eamon, for the suggestion for taking out Vengeance. I've been playing a little bit of Vengeance. I hadn't played a lot of them until I knew I was going to be making this video. And they're a really interesting puzzler, honestly a bit of a puzzler of a spirit for me. That's what they've been. So these are our innate cards. So yeah, we're against Prussia 4. So yeah, we'd get a little bit of time before that horrible early stage 3 card. And a lot of Prussia at the moment. I'm preparing to make a video on how to beat Prussia. And it's in no way because it's easier. This is the opening explore into the sands, which I normally do before the start of the video so I can work out what the hell I'm doing. But I didn't do that. I just got right in. Okay, so with the opening sand explore, does that really influence anything much? We could set up a messy counter in this desert here by just going straight in with a sacred site, turn 1, in here. There's a city build here that we might not want to see. Do we have a way of preventing that city build? Not with our start cards. Okay, well, I think the default is to go with gaining a power card and adding a presence. I do certain things in certain ways just to help me remember. I'm somewhat scatterbrained individual. Okay, so we're gaining a power card. What do we see? Okay, so what are our choices here? This, I'm immediately drawn to Blood Draws Predators because it has both the fire and the beast and the water. We like water for our epidemics run rampant as well, so it's kind of got perfect elements for that. And we do, I enjoy the work of beasts. And that could be pretty nice. Getting beasts, I feel like beasts are often an investment. They kind of, because they might not pay out. They're an investment because they might not do anything for you, but occasionally they come in and do big things. All right, I think we definitely want our elements. So Scour and Encompassing Ward are out. You're out of here. Though Scour the Land is an intriguing card. It's intriguing. Dire Metamorphosis is similarly intriguing because it's a way of getting disease and blight on the board. And fear and damage and Badlands and wilds. And it's certainly the more amusing of the two. But then we'd be missing out. The fact that Blood Draws Predators has the fire on is, I don't know, that's pretty exciting. But the fact that this has it's adding a blight, which for us is it's effectively adding 2 Badlands and all this other stuff. Well, I've got to live up to my reputation that I'm not sure I have of having a messy play style. So Dire Metamorphosis it is. Right, so if that's what's happening, then that's what's happening. So interestingly, because of the way that Reek this Blight's being Badlands means that if we use this in with Blight, then we will probably be just killing any Darn that are in there as well. Wonderful stuff. Okay, so it is disease though. We do like that, and so I guess I need to work out what options. So we could play 1 card and have 2 energy, or we could take the presence from here and have 2 plays. Now this is pretty cheap. We could go 2 plays. We don't have a good Fiery Vengeance this turn. We don't really have a good Plague Bearers, though we could actually combo Plague Bearers up with wherever we hit with Dire Metamorphosis. I don't know if that's strong, though. Is it actually strong? I mean, it could save us some problems. It really could save us some problems. And we could even set up to hit this land. They're going to build a city there this round, but if we hit them with the Metamorphosis, which is going to put down Badlands and Blight and all sorts, and then we Plague Bearers out the Explorer and the town, or just the town, the Explorer will be dead, then it will be, if it's got a disease and effectively multiple Badlands in, we can actually just kill the city with epidemics run rampant. So yeah, let's go with that. just you know, woken up with some energy this morning. I'm just gonna play complicated style. So I'm gonna have 1 energy on our track, and we've got 1 energy from here. We need to also work out where we're placing the presence. We could place it in here to stack up any more disease, but that will be overkill, in fact. So let's just have a sensible targeting presence, as it's called, which we could have in here or in here. Or we could think about, yeah, let's just extend our range by going at one of these jungles. Oh, let's go in this so we can target here if we want to. All right. So we've gained a power card, we've placed the presence, we've gained the energy, and now I need to actually pay for things. So that's the spirit phase. Now we're into all this stuff. So Island is somehow still healthy. Hard to believe, I know. Then just gets revealed and not done. Strange tales affect explorers. No, not today. And now we are into the invader actions. I probably need to, considering how many videos, I probably should nail down the terminology. But so we've got sand builds, and then we've got the explore. So we have a mountain explore. Okay, mountain explore's not too bad. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, now I get to do my things. So does the mountain explore mean I want to shift direction? We can prevent a build if we use diametamorphosis. Interestingly, if we do it in here, we could actually rearrange our Dahan, which could be pretty nice. I quite like the idea of killing this inland city early. That is quite appealing, which we can do if we use the diametamorphosis. In here, and then use the plague bearers to drag them out. I think that's a better plan. I think clearing the inland is going to be a good strategy here. So okay, we'll do the diametamorphosis in here. So first off, I get a fear. It does a damage, so we'll just kill the explorer. I'm pretty sure I have to do this top to bottom. No Dahan in there. Then we add a Badlands. Eee. I don't get to use these that often. Not as often as I'd like. Beast. Disease. So ridiculous. Oh, and I actually forgotten there's going to be strife in there. We'll put that on the city. A wild. It's just every token. They were just like, let's just make a really pog card that just puts down every token, shall we? Yeah, all right. Yeah, but put a blight in there as well, all right. Okay, so that's the dire metamorphosis done. God, it's done nothing. All right, and then we've got plague bearers, so we'll target here. So we gain a fear straight off. Oh, obscuring things here. Everything's visible. Things seem to be visible. And then for each disease, I can push these, and we can take the disease with us. Because there's a strife there, we could just leave this. Actually, we could just leave that because it's gonna ravage fairly futilely. But if we do leave that, then we can't really do much about it. But the thing is, actually, we could just Savage Revenge this, or even just use Fiery Vengeance next turn. If you use Fiery Vengeance in here, because it will have the Blight and the Badlands, we can just kill this with Fiery Vengeance. So I think, actually, I'm going to bring the disease with me to somewhere that's going to build next turn, so we can milk the extra fear, or even choose to prevent the build. For example, we could bring the disease in here and prevent the build. We've got a bit of time to deal with this, except here we can't really, well, we can, but it's don't think it's ideal. We can plonk down a diametamorphosis in the future, except we won't have it. Mutter, mutter, mutter. Okay, so yeah, we don't need the disease to stay in there. I think I'm going to bring the disease in here. I think that might be the idea. Okay. Hopefully that's reasonably clear on the old recording. Yeah, reasonably. And so that's our slow stuff. We don't have any of this stuff down here just yet. So end of turn, these get discarded. I put these sideways on and down here. Not that that's very visible. Oh, my camera been knocked. My camera's been knocked. There it is. Slightly more useful. Okay, so we're back to the spirit phase. I typically do a double place in the spirit phase. We've got a really clear and nice thing to do here, though there's no rush because there is the strife in there. No rush, and we could just prevent this build with our Fiery Vengeance instead. We've got the 2 plays, but we've got 0 energy. So we're probably yeah, we're almost certainly playing these 2 cards. And I think this is a weird spirit in my experience. The kind of look at how mismatched these elements are. Because you kind of get, I find I get to around this point on these tracks where we've unlocked these 2, and then it's just often like just stuck. Or it feels like that anyway. Okay, so we're going to need to reveal this, and we can't actually get threshold with either of these. So I think we'll go with the beast one. We've got a slight preference for beastliness, given that we have diametamorphosis. If we're lucky, we'll be able to not reclaim next turn and try and push to use strike low, because I mean we could strike low in here. That's not bad. But where do we place this this presence? So if you put one in here, we can kill this city to get a fear card going. And then, you know, we might be able to clear the inland here, actually. And then where do we want to be fetidly breathing our fetid cheese breath? I think we're going to put this over here. This presence can get sacked. And yeah, that's just fine. Okay, so that was we went for this growth option. Now we get our income, so it's just 2 on our tracks, which are going to go straight onto lovely breath. And now we do the things. So fast phase, Fiery Vengeance. So it cost me my destroyed presence I started the game with. I'll put that up here. And I gain a fear from it. And I can do a damage. Oh, I could just prevent this build. This is the interesting puzzle with this spirit, is to some degree you kind of want it all to go to hell. Preventing this build allows me to kind of just let this land go. Which is kind of... I actually think I'm going to go with this option. Yeah, we can just kill this at our leisure, really. Except there's no disease in there, so it's not that leisurely. But yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so that was our fast phase, and we didn't reveal this because we've got slightly mismatched elements. Okay, so that was our fast phase. We've still got a healthy island. And now it's our first proper event. Ba-bam. Tight-knit communities. For the rest of the turn, buildings have +1 health. Well, good for them. Each beast destroys an explorer. Add a beast to the board with that one. Not applicable. Add a Dahan to a coastal land with Dahan. So, interestingly, I think this actually plays in. We will still clear this land if we add in here. I prefer not to have lone Dahan, but in this case, it's going to mean we have 2 survivors, which will clear these buffed buildings. And that's that. I'm going to leave this here in an effort to not forget the card, which is something I do. So I'm going to leave it here. Okay, so that was the event, and now we've got the actual things. So this Ravage, this Strife goes away. And this Coastal Ravage is 3 damage, which is enough to drop a Blight. That's enough to drop a Blight, which destroys our presence. I can go here. So we get a disease, and that does 3 damage, kills this Dahan and injures this one. And then in the counterattack, it's 4 damage, which does clear these, even though that town has an extra health, which gets another fear. Oh yeah, I was kind of expecting to have another fear card already, but I changed direction and didn't kill that city. That's why. So we now have a fear card. So that's the Ravage. And then we have a build, no build here, because we've cleared it. In here, I mean, cities are a chore. They're a chore. We didn't... But we can strike low with sudden fevers, and it will give us something to do with this next this next turn, which means we can press ahead on our tracks and still do something useful. Yeah, probably we can go with this next turn if we allow this to build. We'll also, of course, gain a fear. Let's allow it to build, and we do have this ridiculous dire metamorphosis. We can just metamorphise that whole inland area. So we've allowed the build, so we gain a fear. And then we have our explore. So against Prussia, this is our stage 3, our early stage 3, and it's a jungle wetland. Jungles and wetlands. Let's see. So, oh yeah, interesting. Oh, except this would have built here. We wouldn't have prevented this. So these are the wetland explores, and these are the jungle ones. Okay, what does that actually look like now? Because we have to think about our fetid breath. Now that we're into the slow phase, okay, we'll gain a fear from our fetid breath, and then we're going to add a disease somewhere. Yeah, where do we add the disease? Okay, so there's so many builds next turn. If we disease in here, then we can. This build probably won't matter. We could just use the disease as a regular disease. And if we think about, so if it's going to build next turn, we're probably going to reclaim the turn after. So if there's a land we're particularly worried about in the Ravage, we could put the disease in there. As this is a city build, this might be a good candidate. But here but the disease here just solves this land. You know, it's just we don't have to worry about that land anymore because we can just remove it, prevent the actual build, and then this should. I mean, there are events that will spoil it, but you know, this should just be okay, and the beast might take care of them. Yeah, I think this is okay. This is okay. I mean, if we're going to prevent a Ravage, this is just as good as any to prevent. So that's the fetid breath, and now we're at the end of the turn. This can go away. That energy can go away. These go into the discard. So I only have strike low with sudden fevers this turn in my hand, and the rest are in the discard. So I think I am going to try and nobly push. So I'm going to go with this option, probably from here, and there'll be an energy on here. So I'm just doing this so that I try and make as many steps as I can, just so that I kind of know what I'm working with minimal effort. So I've got 3 energy. Yeah, okay, so minor power makes most sense. And what do we get? What do we got here? Intriguing. So we are a bit more beast focused. We are a bit more beasty. This has fire and... I mean, this is the no-brainer pick. Because it's just nice for us. The extra beast is gonna, you know, it will pay off at some point. I like getting fear things, but for us, it's getting to the 3rd and 4th play. Actually, I often hit a bit of a roadblock trying to get there. So given this has both elements, I think that's the pick. I like fear against Prussia, but we don't get to many plays. So this is a luxury I don't think I can afford, especially as it's off-brand. This is nice with like a letting the land just blight. I mean, for example, if we were to Bird's Cry Warning in here, this turn, which we could afford because we're going to have 3 energy in total, we would actually get a nice counterattack in that mountain. But as we are solving that problem already with Strike Low, I think, yeah, we'll go with Swarming Wasps. And I like the fact it's cheap. We might even get to use we might even get to draft a major if we're cheap enough about it. Okay, so we're going to be playing these. We're going to have 1 energy left. That's going to go on there. We've got to work out where to place a presence. And wow, we're actually going to get both tier 1s of our innate. Wonderful. So, what do we have any targeting limitations here? Okay, okay, we've got this ravage we're preventing, so there's no obvious place where our presence is going to get destroyed. So we are going to have a healthy island for a little while longer. We do have our we're going to have our savage revenge, which is only going to be 1 damage, but here that 1 damage would destroy the city. Probably that's the good candidate, but it might be good to have a backup candidate. For example, I mean, yeah, none of the jungles or wetlands are gonna get this damage buffed. There's no blight in them or badlands or anything. So this is a clear candidate. So this is probably for the future. Whoa. Okay. So next turn we are definitely reclaiming. We've got a destroyed presence. We could go with a 5 vengeance next turn, which is this one. Okay, so we've already got a presence in there though. We don't need to. That's a nice preventable one. So we're putting in a 5 vengeance in there. I'm gonna put this in here. It's gonna mean that I'm in with 3 Dahan, which might help me with the events. And this is also kind of, I might be able to destroy an explorer with Savage Revenge. Not that we're that worried about deserts, because we're probably going to destroy this city this turn. Yeah, funky. All right. Finally, we've done this. Now we're into the fast phase. We've actually got, we've got this as well. I have not considered this. I should have considered this last turn, of course. So we're going to be doing E damage somewhere. Now, nowhere with disease actually has extra damage boosts. We're preventing this ravage in here, so we don't care. We don't care about that much. That's. If thing is, I kind of wanted to let this go, but this is that first problem, the Prussia thing. You know, this, if we can deal with this easily, then we're in for a good game. So I'm gonna use this here, and I'm gonna use a strife to mark that I've used that. This is what I typically do. I'll try and be consistent. Okay, so we've done that. We've got strike low with sudden fevers. I'm going to use a pink dice to show that. And then we're going to gain a fast fear, best fear. And we have some swarming wasps to add. We have no... Oh, interestingly, we could have pushed that explorer out. I often forget about that secondary possibility on swarming wasps. We've got a plan for this here. I'm going to add a beast in here because it might destroy the town. It's unlikely at this terror level, but... Well, actually, the event could do something. And that's our swarming wasps. Okay, so we've done our fast stuff. I'm somehow still healthy. Don't worry, it won't be for long. And what's our event? Pow. It's investigation of dangers. Add an explorer to a land without invaders or Dahan. So, So, I mean, this is a very nice, this feels like a sensible candidate. Though in with a beast, they're going to build there this turn. We could milk the fear, but I don't think so. You don't want to over milk. You want to, but getting that balance has been a tricky thing to learn. I'm going to put it in there. Each beast destroys an explorer. Nice one. And then each spirit with at least 3 Dahan among all its lands may use a slow power now. Oh, wow. So I deliberately made the be more Dahan in my lands and then it showed up. So we could do Savage Revenge now. Is there any great benefit to that? It would mean we get to look at 2 fear cards. And we're quite far away from terror level 2. So I think it'll also prevent any... This stage 2 card could be a Wetland Explore. Yeah, let's actually do that. So we're going to use this Rouse the Spirits. We're going to make Savage Revenge quick. So... Just double checking I've got the elements. Yes, so 3 fire, 1 beast, 1 damage, buffed by the Badlands and the... whatever the hell this is called, Blight. Is the 3 damage to destroy that city, which is 2 fear. So 1 and then another fear. So we've now got a second fear card. It's only a terror level 1 fear card, but could make all the difference. Okay, well that's pretty good for us. That was all right. All right, and now we're going to resolve those fear cards. So what have we got here? We have got defend 1 in all lands. We don't care about that. I'm not administering that. Each player removes an explorer or a town from a land with a sacred site. We don't have sacred sites. Do we look sacred to you? Okay, so that was our fear cards. It didn't do that much for us. Okay, there's no ravage. We prevented this ravage with strike low. There's no one here. And then we have the jungle and wetland build, so there's no one here. This is a city build, but it's on the coast. I mean, that'll be fine. And then we've got the jungle build, and we've got a decision to make here. Do we allow the build for the fear, or do we keep the disease? I actually think we keep the disease, and we might even prevent this next time with strike low again. Maybe. Not sure. Not sure about that. I think we milk the fear. I think against Prussia, you want to milk that fear whenever you can. So we are going to allow the build, keep our disease on the board. And then we are into our stage 2 card. It's a sand. So against Prussia, we place a town, and we place it before we actually do the explore. So I'm going to try and keep this empty, you know. It's ambitious. So... Oh wow, our wilds token's going to do some work for us here. Where do we put this down? We could put it in there. Am I trying too hard to prevent this being explored? Possibly. Possibly I am. I am going to go with that though. So town in there, and then the actual sand explore. So this wilds token counteracts that. And we get a sand explore there. Okay. So, slow phase, we did Savage Revenge already. And so we discard some stuff. So we now have just a whole... All of our cards are in our discard pile. Let's see. So next turn, we've got Jungle and Wetland Ravages. Okay, probably a Blighted Island. Probably a Blighted Island. That is almost certainly the case. I'm going to take a short break now. I've started instituting the shorter breaks to try and have fewer errors. So we have our hand is all in the discard pile. That's so I think the reclaim here. I don't think it's worth trying to skip the reclaim here. So we'll reclaim everything, and we'll gain a power card and an energy. So no presence is going to go down. So we'll set up my tracks. So I'm going to have 4 energy to play with, so I should be able to play anything. We could look at a major now. What have we actually got? So we've got our start cards, and then we've got Wasps and Metamorphosis. I mean, we're not going to be able to... I mean, we could play a major, actually, as it happens. And what would we... I mean, Metamorphosis is funny, but it is a liability. And what are we doing this turn? We've got this all these Ravages, so... It's going to be 3, if we do nothing, 3 Blight, which could be, you know, enough to sink us or practically sink us. All depends on what Blight card. And it makes a huge difference to us what Blight card we get. We get some Blight cards that are frankly a power-up, even when they're not really meant to be. So I think we're going to be preventing a Ravage, probably one of these coastal ones. Can we actually do anything about that in the fast phase? So if we're preventing the Ravage with strike low, we only have 2 energy to play with, which doesn't leave us many major powers. I suppose we've got the Mini Fangs major power. We do have a jungle presence that we could afford, but not much. But then maybe we don't care about it to use this turn, actually. Maybe what we're doing is looking for the future. What would we forget? What would we forget? I think it might be too early to look at a major power. So I think I'm going to look at a minor power this time. So let's see what we get offered. Yeah, a little bit too early. I feel like we don't. I think all of our cards are pretty useful right now. Okay, oops. So what have we been offered? So we've been offered 2 beast cards, and intriguing. We can really crank some fear here with this, and we can even add disease, which we like. No fire and beast cards. Renewing Rain. We're not very sacred. I mean, we can make sacred sites fairly easily, but we're not that sacred. I'm a huge fan of Rain of Blood. I think against Prussia it's good because I'm pretty sure that you want that the gaining the extra fear helps deal with their speed. Because often if you're kind of controlling their growth, you don't have so much to destroy, and then they've got pretty slim fear decks. But again, this needs a sacred site, but we can set one up. But we can't use it this turn. Okay, worth noting. In fact, all three of these need sacred sites. Rude. This is also fear, but given that it's limited targeting, but it's also not, we don't need a sacred site for it. If we were to get a whole ton of actions, this could be pretty nice. Sand and wetland for diseases. I actually think Rain of Blood is the best pick here. Even though this might be Forget Fodder. Yeah, I think so. Don't want to go into too much detail on the power picks because I'm trying to keep these runs relatively short. Okay, or as short as possible. All right, so that was our power gain, and we now have all of our cards back, of course. So we've got 4 energy to play with and 2 plays. And I think we want to strike low in this coastal jungle here. So that's 2 of energy. And then we've got another play. So, oh yeah, this is gone. So, what do we want to do with our other play? We could try and just get both of our innates. But I think what we really need to do is plan so that for a double place next turn, and then the plan for our turn where we actually have 3 plays, we could maybe get higher tiers on our innate. I think that's a better plan. So maybe we deliberately try and keep our nice cards. Yeah, I think we need to plan 2 turns in advance. Oh god. So next turn is going to be a Ravage in these sands. This sand is just fine, actually, turns out. So we've actually got a fairly relaxed turn if we deal with this turn. This has a Blight in and a Presence, so it's kind of like a sacred site. I mean, sorry, we've got a boosted damage here. That's what I'm trying to say. A boosted damage. Would be nice to I mean, I don't think we can keep the island healthy this turn. I don't think that's possible. So if that's true, what can we do? We don't really have any boosted damage. You know, places we can target apart from here, don't have the corruption in. Maybe this is a spot where we actually prevent the city build and then try and clear it in either the fast phase. I think, yeah, we prevent the build this turn here, and then maybe we go with getting fire, so we could use Savage Revenge. And then it seems like a lot of effort to deal with 1 land. But if it sets up for a really nice turn next turn, then maybe it's okay. You're like, if we could get this double, if we could place another disease and start doing this effect, that would be pretty good. But how are we gonna do that? Hey? Because or if we could say get another disease token in there this turn, then maybe we could get this this second tier of epidemics so that each of them is doing 2 damage, buffed to 5 damage. So that would suggest the turn a bit like this. But if we go with this, so I'm kind of feeling my way here. If we went with this turn, we'd spend all our energy, but we would get to do epidemics run rampant. So we could snipe this town this turn, gain a fear, doesn't matter. Then they could rebuild it, and then we could clear it in the fast next turn. God, but then that's a lot of effort to achieve. You know, we're doing everything just to worry about this land. I mean, we are going to be preventing this ravage. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot we can do about these, unfortunately. The nice thing is that if we are able to set up a turn next time, we can get up to 3 plays. We can actually have a pretty nice turn, but it will all be highly dependent on what blight card we get. If we get a blight card that allows us to play Dire Metamorphosis, I think that'll be good. But otherwise, we'll be playing these 3, which would give us the double tier on the innate and clear that land. And we'd be placing a beast, gaining fear, and using Plague Bearish Push. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. So I've had to kind of plan both turns at once, so plenty of opportunity for that to go awry. Okay, so this is what we do. We are striking them low. So in here, we strike low. I'll use my magic pink dice. So we gain a fear. No ravages in here, thanks. And we've got this here. So I'm going to use that in here. So it's boosted by this blight. So we can destroy this town, which is another fear. Just finishes off that fear card. And that's now done. Oops. So that's our fast stuff. And now we're into the rest. So Iron's still healthy. Not for long, though. Fear not. Numinous Crisis. Oh, God. This is a notorious event. The spiritual energy of the island weakens as life's connections grow ever more tattered. You may draw strength from it while you can. So we get to remove a blight per player and keep on doing it and gaining 3 energy per blight removed. So we'd gain 3 energy, which could mean we go for an early major, and we crucially know at this stage what blight card we had. Interesting. Or we can pour our strength into the island. We can either pay 3 energy, forget 2 power cards, or return a presence to their tracks, add a blight per spirit to the blight card from the box. Intriguing. So if we take the blight, my experience with this spirit is that you might think you want blight everywhere, but I think it's going to be different with more spirit, with a multi-spirit game. So we could let this flip, gain 3 energy, and crucially see what this card is. If we draw one that's a 2 blight card, we would get to redraw it. Crucially, we're in the event phase now, so we're not going to have to do the blighted island effect. We won't instantly lose if it's tipping point, which is always nice. Or we could forget 2 power cards as our best option there. We could forget Dire Metamorphosis maybe. Don't want to forget this till it's played. We could forget Dire Metamorphosis and Wasps or Blood maybe. I think I'm going to go with this one. All right, so we remove, and so we're going to gain 3 energy for removing this from the card. And I'll get it as a 3 like that. I'll curse myself later. And then it flips. What do we get offered? Oh, we have no option about this one. It's Erosion of Will. So immediately 2 fear per player. So that's something. Thanks. 2 fear per player. Each spirit destroys one of their presence and loses an energy. Damn, we're already going to have to break that 3. Already. God, barely had it. Barely had it a moment. So we've lost an energy and we destroy a presence. So that is actually kind of good for us. We like having our presence destroyed. So we like it because we'll get to have a disease somewhere. Let's destroy this one. We intended to put a disease in here anyway. Yeah, we'll destroy that one. And then we can choose where Fetid Breath goes later on. Okay, and there's only 3 blight per player on this. So this is a little bit closer to the edge than we'd like. Could be worse though, actually. Tipping point, while simultaneously being a power-up, just means we've got less blight presence that we can get rid of. Okay, well, there's more. There's more. 1 fear purple wood with disease. Yeah, we're covered on that one. 2 damage to Dahan in a land with disease. So, okay, I think I can actually just choose a land that doesn't have Dahan in, because it's not specifying it has to have Dahan in. Because some of them are like, say things like, choose a land with invaders and Dahan. But yeah, we've got so much disease. We'll have a bit of disease in here. And then there's some Dahan defend. I don't think it's relevant though, unfortunately. It's not enough. So that's that. And we're going to be down to 1 blight. And we're not even at Terra 2 yet. Yikes. But we do have a fear card, so maybe that 2 defend. Yeah, we've got our blue dice for defend. I'll just put that in there. Okay, what's our fear card? Each player may gather a town into a coastline. Okay, well, we can actually we can defend in there. I'll stop. That's actually pretty good for us. So we could see, now I'm kind of conflicted. Part of me thinks I want to deliberately let this be destroyed so that it becomes a disease. Which is is a power up for us. But that's not much presence to have on the island, actually. Oh, I've just realized we get 2 defend in there as well from Numinous Crisis. Yeah, we do. Well done, peasant. So actually, that's pretty good. So yeah, we can actually save this. We'll drag this into here. Thanks, Fear card. Okay. So now we're into the Ravage. So this Ravage is prevented by Strike Low. This Ravage is defended by Numinous Crisis. So in the counterattack, we'll destroy this town, getting us a Fear card, and I think taking us to Terra 2. Yes, we are at Terra 2. And so that was the jungles. Then we have no one in this wetland, and then this is defended as well. This is going to go down to 1 health. After the counterattack, these defenders can go away. That can go away. And then we are into the Explore. What do we get here? So it's coastal lands. Damn it. Didn't want coastal lands right now. Didn't want it. Though, yeah. So, coastal. Okay. And now we're into our slow phase. So we don't have Savage Revenge, so I'll put this on so I don't think I have it. We are going to be fetidly breathing. Feta cheese breath. And we are going to add a disease somewhere. So, all right. Next turn, we've got this Ravage here. We can, as long as we get 3 beasts or 2 beasts from our cards, that's fine. That's sorted because it's going to be... It's going to be 3 damage, so we don't even need to worry about getting the second tier on this, which is interesting. So you might want to try and push on this tier instead. So that's fine. We might want to, milk Fear actually, and put the disease here. Yeah, I'm going to milk Fear. Milking it. I mean, we got incredibly lucky there not to have a load of blight. The event card saved us 2 blight, so we'll put it here. Okay, and then the end of turn, all this energy goes away. These are in my discard. The city heals up. Okay, then. Okay. Oh, this destroyed presence should be over here. I don't know what the hell that was. Okay, so now I really want to double place presence as priority. Let's see what our turn actually looks like. So we need to also play at least 2 beast elements, but that's if we're playing 3 cards, we won't be able to not play at least 2 beast elements. So let's look at our tracks. And I think the third play is going to be really useful. Especially if we've got things like Rain of Blood, cheap, power. Also, if we're going to use Rain of Blood, we need a sacred site. So, and I just feel a lot more secure with more presence on the board with events in the game. I'd be surprised if many people play with Vengeance without events, because it strikes me as the kind of spirit where you know you're deep in by the time you're playing with Vengeance. Okay. So, if we're gonna maybe... Oh yeah, these are refreshed now. If we're gonna be using Savage Revenge, potentially... Yeah, can we make fire happen, particularly? I suppose if we went something like Plague Bearers, Vengeance, Wasps, we could actually get this second tier of Savage Revenge. So we'd be doing 3 damage in the slow phase at range 1. Which, is that enough to do anything? Well, kind of. I think we're going to milk fear in all of these lands. Well, this is going to be cleared, but we're going to milk fear in all of these lands. Something else that's interesting is... No, we don't have a defend card. This just looked like a nice defend. Okay. I think... Now that we're at Terra 2, I'm more inclined to want to milk the fear. But this is 3 damage. This is a city kill. We could be dutifully and patiently clearing the inland. What stage 2 cards have I had? I'm going to try not to make the mistake I made before of putting the Invader deck back in the wrong order. Okay, so we've just had the Sand 2. Yeah, getting that 4 fire 2 beast thing, that's a lot of... That's a city kill. So I think I'm going to prioritize that over the Rain of Blood this turn. Yep, because we just don't need... Yeah, we just don't need this element, this Epidemics Run Rampant this turn. So let's make a sacred... We'll make a sacred site for it anyway. And we'll put in here to instantly destroy a city. Though, I mean, maybe we just put it in harm's way a bit more. No, we want to clear this. If we can clear the interior, we're onto a winner. And then we need targeting for Rain of Blood. This is probably likely to have relevant targets for a while. No, let's put it in here. Yeah, put it in there. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we're going to go with the fiery plan. The fire plan. So we have Plague Bearers. I've not planned where I'm going to do Plague Bearers either. Oh, we've also got Fiery Vengeance. So, maybe actually we could clear this coastal land. We could Fiery Vengeance in here, prevent the actual build with the disease token, and then destroy the city. And then yeah, I think that's good. Okay, shifting around on the fly here. Okay, so we are in the fast phase now. We've done that stuff. Okay, so we've got Epidemics Run Rampant. We need to definitely not forget to do this. So it's a 3 animal and fire thing, so we can clear this land. So that's nice. Okay, that's that. Then we've got a Swarming Wasp to place. I mean, I'm gonna put it in here. This is where I'm being a bit slow to do anything much in there. That's our Wasp. Then we've got Fiery Vengeance, so I'll pay the Destroyed Presence. And I'll knock the camera around a little bit. And we can use that to destroy this Explorer and gain a Fear. So forget that Fear. And that's my fast stuff. Blighted Island doesn't have a kind of ongoing effect. And now we see our event. What do we get? Missionaries arrive. They teach and spread lessons of a foreign god. You may ignore their contact with the Dahan. Or we can curse their tongues. Well, you know, It's adding disease. We almost certainly want to do that. The trouble is, I would have liked to just forgotten Fire Vengeance, but we actually need, well, we want that fire so that we've got this tier of this innate here. So we do have 3 energy, and we could pay with just straight energy. God, horrible. But we've got a cheap turn next turn, probably. But yeah, definitely just adding more disease to the board is good. The extra city damage on the Ravage. Cities are going to do +3 damage. Not really a big deal for us. Not a big deal. So, yeah, we're going to... That one element will contribute. And then we'll just pay 3 actual energy. And we get to add a disease to a land with a city. I wonder whether I'd favour... See, because this is going to ravage soon, this is actually more urgent to deal with than this. So, and if it blights, we can, we could do a lot more damage in here and clear all that, and then come back to this. Okay, so 2 fear per player. Lovely, that's another fear card. And then cities do extra damage in ravage. Actually, that's irrelevant. The next normal ravage we don't care about. Each beast destroys an explorer. And that's Missionaries Arrive. Okay, now fear card time. Fear card, fear card, fear card. Tall Tales of Savagery. And we are at Terra 2. Each player removes 2 explorers or a town from a land with Dahan. Okay. Yeah, this is feels like the sensible candidate. Next, we have each player removes up to 3 health invaders from a land with disease. Land with disease? What kind of... Who has disease? No one has disease. It's a shame that we've already had the stage 2 sand, because removing this, might have saved us from an explore there. But it's probably still the right thing to do. Though we could just make this under control. We were going to be destroying... Oh, it's inland. It's inland. Okay, no decisions here. Sorry about that. I should read the card, I should actually read the card. Okay. So, that's the fear cards. Now we are into the Ravage. The sands are clear. Coastal build. So, no build here. And... yeah, I'm going to actually use the disease token here to prevent this build. I think. Oh, yeah, these fears should be back up here. Yeah. And then this one in here, I'm gonna, especially because they're doubled up now, I think I'm going to allow the build. Oh, it's another city. Yikes. It'll be fine. So we will gain a fear, because we can prevent that ravage, of course, with our whatever it's called, strike low with sudden thingamajigs. Okay, that was the build, and then we're into the explore. So first we place a town, and then they explore into the mountains. So okay, with this is not adjacent to a building. We could place the town in this mountain, and then they're not going to explore in here. That works. Okay, and now the slow phase is Plague Bearers. So it's kind of tempting to just take all these disease and bring them in here. That's kind of tempting. Because next turn, we might be able to do some pretty serious damage in there. I mean, there's a lot of health worth invaders. We can't get to this bottom threshold unless like an event throws us an element, which it might. I'm quite hazy on a lot of the Jagged Earth events. Can the Plague Bearers do anything that really helps us? Weirdly, they can't do a lot for us apart from... yeah, I think we wanted to do that. So we're not going to gain the fear, unfortunately. Or we could kind of clear these out, and then we've just got... yeah, we could actually just leave the cities in there and pull this lot out. But I think given that we do have the ability to just stack and prevent the ravage, I think I like the idea of this being just a disease hellhole. So, so let's do that. So we will move these Dahan. These Dahan might be doomed. Sorry, Dahan. Okay, so that was that, and then we have our Savage Revenge. So we've got, I'll just double check. We've got the 4 fire and the 2 animal elements. So we do 3 damage at 0 range. So we will destroy this city for 2 more fear. Thanks, Savage Revenge. Okay then, time for another mandated break. Okay, so I didn't clean up before the break. Awful. So this lot go in the discard pile. That's now kind of refreshed. We left with these 2 cards in hand. And the thing is, I don't really want to play Diametamorphosis. Thinking about it. So I think we go with the slightly safer option of reclaiming, preventing this Ravage. And maybe looking at a major. We've got, this is very forgettable now. Yeah, so I think that's the plan. I think that's a good plan. The island's looking pretty good, actually. I often get kind of a tunnel vision when I'm playing this game, and I'm kind of lose track of what the island actually looks like, and it looks all right, you know. The other thing we could do with the reclaim is possibly, can we do 8 damage in there? We might be quite close to a Terror 3 victory. We're actually 3 cards away from Terror 3. So 9 fear. But the stage 3 Prussia cards are now arriving, the proper ones. Yeah, I think this is a reclaim. This is a reclaim. And I often find myself in this kind of reclaim cycle with this spirit. You know, just... Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I find it very hard to break beyond these tracks. Okay, so I think we look at a major power here. Though, is that necessary? I think most of my best wins with this spirit, I haven't used majors at all. But yeah, we've got something that we probably almost certainly want to forget. So let's have a little look. What's the game offering us? Bloodrack Plague. We can add some more disease in. That's mildly hilarious. We can't actually afford it this turn. Can we have a... Are we going to get that mountainy threshold? Yeah, probably. Probably. I've never actually had this major. I think I tend to favor a minor power playstyle, except with the very explicitly major power spirits. Oh yeah, so if we use it with strike low, then we've got our mountain fairly, and you know, it should be easy to get that threshold. God, that'd be quite a nice finish, wouldn't it? Lovely finish. And we could even get some more. We could. I mean, I think this is the one to pick here. It's got nice elements for us. It's just we're broke. We're just broke. We could deliberately let this land go this turn as well. Well, or just kind of so that we've got the energy next turn for a good Bloodrack Plague. Of course, it's not going to do a lot of defending if we use it like that. But we've just got the one land to think of. Can we don't have any presence place that gets great amounts of energy. I suppose, I mean, just running down this last bit of track, which we could probably do if we kind of plan 2 turns at once. I really like Savage Transformation in the early game, but it's a bit late for us here. As in, you get this early, you're laughing. Yeah, let's go with Plague, and we will forget. We will forget Diametamorphosis. So thanks, Diametamorphosis. You've been wonderful. Okay, so we can't afford to play Plague this turn. We just need to accept that. We've got 3 energy. If we want to use it with Threshold next turn, then we need to play it with... We've only got 1 mountain card, which is this. That's Hmm. I wonder if we can actually. I wonder if actually we can just do enough damage in there. We can't get to this threshold, but we can do 8 damage in there just with this innate, which is 2 cities and a town, leaving only 4. Leaving only 4 health worth invaders. I mean, and we're going to be the process of destroying all that will get us another fear card. So actually, if we could afford Bloodwrack Plague, it would defend for us this turn, but we can't. The thing is, if we use this and skip the action this turn, we can't afford this next turn. The appeal of this Bloodwrack Plague is that I'm not only adding lots of disease, but I'm kind of able to just clear all the surrounding areas. So like I could pick this off. I mean, maybe that's, yeah, maybe we never get to use Bloodwrack Plague. Maybe that's the sordid reality here. We could do a similar. We could go for another fire turn and then alternate it with a beast turn. I think we just go with the plan. That Bloodwrack Plague, I think, is going to be ornamental for us, which does feel like a shame. But you know, who doesn't enjoy a little bit of shame here and there? Okay, so what we really need is to be all beast. So we're not going to be fierily vengeancing this turn, so that we can do as so we can maximize damage in there. Not that there's any time pressure on that damage. Actually, we could just wait. We could actually go for fire instead and smash in here. Would be nice to see to get that 4th fire. I'd be kind of required to play these. I think we definitely. I mean, this is nice because we get this as well. We get to do a load of damage in there and fiery vengeance in here. The trouble is, we're at stage 3. I don't really want any building to be taking place in there, because at that, being a building here will enable explorers in both of these lands. Going around in circles here. So, yeah, I think this is the best. I'm not sure, though. Frustratingly, I suppose we could double place Blight next turn to get Bloodwrack, but then we won't get Threshold on it. But we would still actually get the defend from it. I know that it is nominally a defend card. Ugh, I don't know. All right, so that's that. We've played this just for elements. I think that's reasonable. Preventing the city build's good there. But yeah, but this is vast amounts of damage with this. So, okay, let's stop going backwards and forwards. So we're going to strike low in here. So we gain a fear, which is a fear card. We gain a fear, and we use our handy pink dice. Okay, we're going to swarming wasps. Can't put it in with blight, so let's put it in here. Might be helpful, just for that idea that maybe our beasts could keep the interior clean. Okay, that's that. And then we've got our epidemics run rampant. So we've got the 4 animal, the 2 fire, and the water. So we can do 2 damage per disease. There's 4 in it, 8 damage. So that's you, and that's you. Which is 5 fear, which is a fear card, and then another fear. Okay, so that is our fast phase. Okay, so no Blighted Island effect, and what's our event? It's strip the land bare. Towns each do +1 damage when ravaging, doesn't matter. After ravage, adds blight, remove and explore in a town from the ravaged land. Ooh, intriguing. But it doesn't matter because there is no ravage this turn. On each board, add a disease to the inland land with the most buildings. That would be you. That would be you over here. You're the inland land with the most buildings. We're getting lots of disease events. Each spirit with at least 3 Dahan. Among while it stands, gains an energy and may reclaim a card. Do we have 3 Dahan? I'd be really surprised. We've got 1. We've got 2. I'm not in there anymore. I'm sure I was in there at some point. Damn it, we don't get that. That actually would have made a difference. Okay. But thanks for the disease. Now we've got a couple of fear cards. Let's see what we get. Each player adds a strife in a land with Dahan. For us this turn, invaders have -1 health per strife to a minimum of 1. Okay then. So that's interesting. If we go if we do this in here, actually wait a second. We've got 3 damage in here. If we do this, then we can kind of solve this land. Oh, there's no Dahan in there, peasant. There's no Dahan. This is kind of... bleh. Yeah, I'll put it in here. Kind of irrelevant, I think. Okay, and then the second fear card. Each player adds a strife in a land with a presence. Each spirit gains an energy per sacred site they have in lands with invaders. Wow, get an energy there. The Bloodrack Plague Dream becomes slightly more likely. So we can do this in here now. And we can just destroy that city, hopefully. Okay, that's our fear cards. That's our fear. And we are now into the ravage. So this coastal ravage prevented by strike low with sudden fevers. Sorry about that. No one else anywhere else. No build here because there's no one home. Here, we could prevent the build and then clear the land. The fact there's a town there means that it doesn't make much odds. I think I'm going to just prevent that build. Just going to prevent it. Though destroying a city is extra fear, and because this strife is here, this is a relatively safe land. But there's already blight here. But we might be fiery revenging anyway. Yeah, let's allow it. Let's milk the fear. So they do build a city in here. Oh, wait a second, peasant, you fool. No, we're not going to milk the fear. We'll put that fear back. I've just realized how close we are to a Terror 3 victory. So yeah, let's actually spend the disease. Because we just need 3 fear, which we might be able to get. Wait, oh god, oh wait. If we allow the build, we actually can destroy the city. So we do gain a fear backwards and forwards. We will actually gain 2 fear from destroying it. Because this is reduced to 1 health by this, we can destroy the town as well for another fear. That doesn't matter. Okay, peasant, stop rambling. So that was the mountain builds, and now we're into the jungle. Sand and wetland. So yeah, this is the explorers that I didn't want, but I think it shouldn't matter. Okay, and now we're into the slow phase. And sorry for anyone that's been watching this and is like, oh, you had the win ages ago. I'm a a simple farmer. So we can do this. We've got the 4 fire and the 2 animal. So we can do that in here with this. It's 4 damage, which destroys these and gets us 3 fear. So that's 2 and the terror level 3 and 1 more fear. But that there is the terror level 3 victory. Whew. This is a lot easier with breaks. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you like the video, like the video. Where's my thumb? It should go like that, shouldn't it? Thumb. If you have any feedback, if you spot a mistake, please timestamp it. I will struggle to remember this game more quickly than you might imagine. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, keep it spiritual.